If you're tired of aimlessly designed websites without a clear direction, look no further friends, because in this video I'm gonna show you how can you revolutionize your UX design approach by introducing wireframes. I share with you when to use them because, let's face it, they aren't always necessary. I will also help you on making the right decision on when to actually use them, and I will guide you throughout the entire process of making the wireframes for one of my latest projects that I've got. Before we start, a brief introduction for the ones of you that don't know what wireframes actually are. Wireframes are a low detail representation of the content and the hierarchy of the content that you're going to have into your website, and you can both use an analytic way of doing so, basically using pen and paper, or you can use some software applications like Sketch, Figma, WXD, etc. At this stage of your design process, it is extremely critical that you keep everything extremely simple, because you or your customer don't want to be distracted by all the details that the website or application might have. Now, it's crucial to understand when to use them to save us as much time and energy as possible to focus later on more important things. From my experience, using wireframes in really creative websites where the main focus is creativity is generally a waste of time, because since the beginning you make the decision of sacrificing some aspects of the UX to allow you to have more freedom in the creative aspect. On the other hand, if you have to build e-commerces or more in general websites that are more functional than creative, wireframes are a key factor for creating UIs that are extremely effective and organized. Now that we have the theory, the boring stuff in place, let's jump right into the process. Now, to create wireframes, I usually use the iPad with the Apple Pencil and an app called Freeform, which is pre-installed by default on all the iPads with the latest version of iPadOS. But you can use whatever you want. The important thing is that you can sketch out whatever you think. As you can see, I wrote down in a simple note all the content needed for the website divided by pages and all the other content that we didn't actually know where or how to place it. We need a home page, a shop page, the details of the product page, so when you click on a product you see the details and the buy button, for example, about, contact and farm. And I marked these last three as maybe, because I was actually thinking about putting this content in the landing page, because otherwise we are not gonna have a lot of content in the homepage. First thing, let's jump into Freeform and let's start drawing the canvas for our idea. Basically, this is going to be the hero section of the website. And of course, we want to have a navigation. Usually I use the red color for call to actions and black for all the other stuff that is not relevant. So here we're probably gonna have the logo, some other call to actions, maybe the anchor points to the other sections of the homepage. And I'm thinking about putting the shop section, the shop button right here, so it's in the middle of the screen and it's really visible. The client said that as soon as the user lands on the page, they want to show the logo and have some kind of animation. And I think that it works really well. So we're gonna put the logo in the middle of the page, and this is going to be a D and an S. And what I usually do is when I create all these wireframes, I choose one specific color to write down all the interactions that I can think of when I go through the process of creating these wireframes. For instance, here the idea was to use this part of the logo as the bottle opener, so we integrate the logo with the interaction and the main element of the website. So as the user scrolls down, we're gonna bring up the next section of the website and we're gonna move the S of the logo, so it creates this animation like it's opening a bottle of wine. And in this stage, I write down all the things that I have in mind, so let's write that down. Now, when we design e-commerces, it's important to distinguish, and you need to ask to your client if they want to focus on conversion or on brand awareness. This is critical because the entire structure of the website is going to be dictated by these two scopes. For instance, in this project, because the brand is not that big, we want to create brand awareness and we want to put all the storytelling stuff first and then the shop. Not that the shop is secondary, but we want to build trust and to show to the potential customer how they produce, why they are better than others. Due to that, as the second section, I want to have the drone footage so the potential customer can see the actual where they work basically. And it's also an extremely good way to introduce the customer to the website. So if you have some really nice footage, don't waste it and try to put it into your website. By the way, friends, right now I'm just creating the general frame of the website, so with all the sections, and I don't want to put all the text and call to actions yet. We have the drone footage, and the next section that I think that is going to perfectly work and connect with this one is the wireframe section, because as the user scrolls down, the user sees basically the drone footage, and maybe he wants to know more about a specific area of the farm, and then you can use the map, so the following section. The last storytelling area that we need to add is the about one. This is going to be after the farm section, so we have all the information for the user ready to go. Now that we've added all these storytelling sections to the landing page, the time for the shop one has come, so let's add it and then add the footer. So here we're gonna have the shop section, and I was thinking about the need to put the latest release of the brand, and at the very bottom of the page we are gonna have the footer with maybe a link on the left side, 2 links on the right side, just to make everything more interesting, and the newsletter button to join the newsletter for the brand in the middle, because we all want to steal your information. Just kidding, but it is a crucial part for the brand to connect with its customers. Friends, we have come at the end of the first part of the wireframe process, and now it's time to think about where to place the actual content of the website. So let's start developing this structure, adding the content that I took and all the notes that I took from the meeting that I had with the client. The hero section is going to remain the same one, because we don't want to add other details to this one, and the content structure is perfect as it is, so we don't have to add anything else. Moving on with the drone footage, I think that we can have the video in the background, and then we have the secondary logo in the foreground, so we're gonna have DASAM and some text as an introduction for the brand. Don't forget that for this project we want to create brand awareness, and we want to create a connection between the brand and the user. And I think that this is perfectly fine for what we are looking for. For the following section we can have a rough sketch just to get an idea of the map of the farm, and don't judge me for my drawing skills. Something like so, and then we can have the call to action dots as call to action, so when the user clicks on these dots, some text is gonna pop on the screen, so the user can see some additional details about this portion of the farm. It also adds some interactivity to the website, which is a critical point if you want to make something really interactive and engaging for the user. At this point, friends, I can already see, looking at the general structure, I can already see that we have too many storytelling sections together, and the latest, basically the section about the shop, is too far down below. And that's why I usually break up the wireframing process in 2 parts, basically the more general one at the beginning, and then I'm gonna add all the content, because I can rethink about all the sections and I can reorganize the content as I progress. So what I'm thinking about here is to move the latest release section, so the section about the shop, above the about section. In that way, I think that the shop is not gonna be too far down and the user can discover it pretty fast. In this portion of the website, I was thinking about putting the image of the product, maybe a PNG, or it would be cool to have a 3D model, title of the product that is going to take the entire screen and is going to be in the background, and then the buy button, so we have the call to action to go into the shop. For the animations, it would be cool to have an infinite scroll for the title of the product, and then we can have some really nice sliding of the image of the product. And again, guys, write down all the ideas that you have about interaction, animations, etc., because later on you will thank yourself for doing that. At the end, nothing to add for the footer. You know what? Another cool idea is to have the preloader before the page loads with an animation, basically a fade effect of all the sections of the logo. So we fade in the circle, the D, the S, and in that way it's really cool because the user can actually see the structure and the building of the logo. And these, friends, are the details that make you stand out from the competitors. Very last thing, let's write down how these navbar links should appear after the preload. So maybe some fade effect after the preload disappears. So friends, as you can see, the entire process is not complicated at all, but if you add this little step into your design process, you're going to see huge improvements in your final products and your clients are going to enjoy more your designs. At this point of the video, I can only thank you for watching it until the end, and if you found it helpful, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments down below if I changed your design process. By the way, I hopefully see you in the next video.